Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the iBUG Buzz for what is this, January 10th, 2022. My name is Al, and this is episode number 516. My name is Brad Snyder, and along with my co host, Sandy Rao, we are here to talk about the iOS world. The iBUG Buzz is an open forum where we talk about all things iOS. That includes hardware such as your iPhones, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV. We might even talk about the iPod Touch. We talk about related apps and maybe hardware goodies. Just everything in the iOS world. We stick to that tonight. This call is being recorded. And once we're done, it will be available on the ibugtoday.org website. And I believe it's still available on the Sight into Sound website. It can also be listened to through your favorite podcast player app, or it's also available on the on your smart speaker of your choice, just by asking your device to play the iBug Buzz podcast. Let's see. As I said, this call is being recorded, so to help us get as clean a recording as possible, we ask that everybody stay on mute unless you're talking, and that'll help us get a clean recording. Then what we'd like you to do is, if you'd like to ask a question or make a comment or something, we don't use the raise hand feature. What we ask you to do is unmute yourself, say your name, and either Sandhya or myself will call on you. And then once called on, you can ask your question or make your comment. We ask that when someone else is speaking, please let them complete whatever it is they're saying before you say your name and try to get your foot in the door. As I said, we ask everybody to stay muted. So let's go over how to do all that. If you're joining us on your iPhone tonight, you'll find on the Zoom app, you'll find the mute button is in the lower left corner of the screen. And it's a toggle. You tap it, it'll unmute. Tap it again, it'll mute you. If you're joining us tonight on a Windows PC, you want to use Alt-A. If you're joining us tonight on a Mac, it would be Command-Shift-A. And if you're on either one of those, it's possible that you can use your space bar to mute and unmute. By holding it down, you'll be unmuted. By letting go of it, you'll go back to being on mute. That's a real handy way to do it. If you're joining us on an iPad, it's similar to the iPhone, except the mute button is it's on the top, near the top of the screen, slightly to the right of dead center. And last but not least, if you're joining us on a telephone call, you want to use *6. That will mute and unmute you if you're joining us tonight through a regular dial-in phone connection. I think that's everything. All my do's and don'ts and all that kind of stuff. Why don't we hand it off to Sandhya? Are you going to do the announcements tonight? I don't hear Michael here.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Yes, we've got a good mix of things coming up this week. So as you are here, if you're here, you already know that we are starting at our new time of 7 p.m. Central Time and ending at 9 p.m. Central Time. So adjust your calendars accordingly. And I know you know how to do that. We've talked about that, and we'd love for you to be here as long as you can be here and absorb all this information. Okay, so then Tuesday, we have Clubhouse from 5 to 6 p.m. Central. Again, all times I mentioned are Central. So there, we're going to be doing the mini buzz. So tomorrow, it's going to be similar to what we're doing here, but it'll be just for 1 hour and on a different platform. So if you think of some questions in the middle of the night that we didn't get to or whatever, you come tomorrow and we will take care of it. Then Thursday, we get the day off Wednesday. Thursday, we will have Feel a Book Club. We're going to be reading Commonwealth, and it is by Ann Patchett, DB 86,217. So there you go. You can check it out. It's 10 hours and 19 minutes. Start now. You'll be done by Thursday. Then let's see, Friday's the iBUG night at the virtual movies. We will have our big reveal at the halftime show at the midpoint of our call, which now will be at 8 p.m. Central Time. Then we have the weekend will be peacefully off, but be checking out. We just had an awesome iBUG cafe yesterday, led by Shri, and we talked about Zoom, what basically we have been on for several years now, and still there's a lot to learn. So that podcast has been uploaded thanks to our lovely volunteers. So check it out, and let's see. So, and we thank all of our presenters yesterday. That was Terry Ann and Brad and Mr. McCullough. So, and of course to Shri. All right. So Brad, that's all I got for you now. So handing it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sandhya. Okay. Next thing we like to do before we get moving with our questions and hopefully some answers is the iBUG tradition of taking a tour around the room and letting everyone get a chance to tell us your name, tell us where you're joining us from, and most importantly, if you are new to iBUG, and especially if this is your first time joining us on your call, we want to know. We're not going to make fun of you or point fingers at you or put you on the spot. We just like to give us all a chance to welcome you and recognize our new attendees. So to get us started, my name is Brad, and I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Nancy Stevens from Bend, Oregon.
Dan from San Diego, California.
Elisa
Dana.
Porter.
From Cincinnati, Ohio.
Pete
Elisa
Cook
Porter,
from Durham,
Texas.
Pete Cook from Durham, North Carolina.
Welcome, Pete.
Sabrina from Texas.
Hi, Sabrina. Welcome.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Hey, Herbie.
Camera. Take a picture with the camera and attach it to this conversation.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name. Your voiceover was talking.
That's not my voiceover, it's someone else's. This is
Okay,
Carol.
somebody else's. Okay.
And I loved the meeting yesterday. Thank you to all the presenters.
Well, thank you and welcome. Who else we got?
Ned, Kyle, Texas.
I heard Ned, and who else was that?
Judy in Connecticut.
Hey, Judy.
Marvin from Chicago.
Hey, Marvin.
Sharon from New York.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey.
Xavier, Atlanta.
Hey, Xavier.
Ann from St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, Ann. Welcome.
Billy from Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Billy.
Linda from Humboldt, Texas.
Hey, Linda.
Helene from Arizona.
Hi. Welcome.
This is Sandhya from Houston.
Hey, Sandhya.
And this is Stephen from Austin.
Hey, Stephen.
This is Shri from Fairfax, Virginia.
Shri from Fairfax. Nice.
Greg from Texas.
Jody.
Greg and Jody. Yes.
Yep. Jody from Swansea, New Hampshire.
All right, Jody. Is it cold up there, Jody?
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow's high is 8 degrees.
Oh, very nice, I guess, if you're used to it. Who else we got? Is that it? That's it. One more chance. Okay. All right. What we like to do is donate the first part of our show, perhaps the first 4 minutes, to beginners and beginner questions. So if we have anyone who's new joining us, new new. We like to give you guys a opportunity to ask your questions and help you get going with your devices. And
This is Sandhya.
so, yes.
I think Pete is a new caller. Pete, are you a new caller? Yeah, Pete Cook.
Yes, I actually called in a few months ago, and then I was out of town for a little bit.
Okay.
But this is actually like my second or third call. But
so we don't have to be nice to you anymore then.
We're still going to be nice to you.
We are? Okay. Brad's the nice
be nice
one. Go
to
ahead,
everybody.
Brad.
Okay. Just,
I appreciate it.
What kind of device you got, Pete?
I'm on an iPad.
iPad. All right.
Yes.
What kind of iPad?
I just got it, so I'm not even sure.
Okay, that's cool.
It's on the iOS 15. So
good. So you're up to date. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, thank you. We got anybody else who's new who would like to speak up and share? Okay, well, who'd like to ask our first question and get the ball rolling tonight?
This is Helene.
Okay, go ahead.
I mentioned this on the call in the rear view mirror, and I was told maybe ask the question tonight about I fell on my property and I didn't happen to have anything with me, and I didn't have my cane, I didn't have my phone with me, and I was thinking about a life alert, and then I was thinking about other things, and then I heard that if you press 5 times, I have a 2SE phone, that if you press the button, the power button, not the home button, but the side button, if I press it 5 times, it will go to an SOS, like a 911. Is that true, or is there a better idea?
Okay, who would like to?
Can you do that with Alexa? I know that you can say Alexa, call 911.
Elisa.
Alexa.
Hold it. Hang on. Go ahead, Elisa.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Elisa.
You can do it with the power button and the volume button. If I'm not mistaken, somebody else can help me.
I think it's the side button 5 times.
Yeah,
real
I thought
quickly.
it was both of them.
No, that's something different.
This is Herbie.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
Wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, by default, unless you've disabled it, which I have, because but if you click the power button really fast 5 times, it will trigger the siren. And what you're thinking of, Elisa, is if you hold in the side button and the volume button, it will bring up a screen that will include the slide to power off and emergency SOS. So that is a second way of bringing it up. And if you do trigger the emergency SOS, just so you know what to expect, is you're going to hear a really loud siren go off a couple times. And unless you hit the cancel button, then it's going to call 911. And if you've set up an emergency contact, it will let them know also that you triggered the emergency SOS and what your location is. So there you go.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
Yeah, one of the things that I would also suggest that I was going to mention today for you was to set up your phone to have Hey Siri be active. So that means, when you say Hey Siri, it's going to activate your phone, even if the phone is not with you or near you, I should say. And one of the things that you could do, if something like this happens again, you could say, Hey Siri, call 911. And when you say it, call 911 with speaker. So when you do that, your speaker will automatically kick in as it dials 911. So that way you can speak as well as you can hear the phone if the phone is not near you. But you do have to turn on the HEYSIRI word active so you could do that. That would be another way if the phone is not near you to call emergency, or even if it's with you, to be able to do that without having to actually physically dial the number.
This is Helene. I like that idea the best so far, because I usually have the phone in a Kivo around my neck. Unfortunately, the way I fell, I probably would have hit the phone, but I would have been lying on top of it. But I think it still would have heard those words. And I many times a day I say, "Hey Siri, where are you?" And she says, "I'm right over here." So I know that works. So that's a great idea.
This is Sri.
All right, go ahead, Sri.
Yeah, I just want to make sure when you do that, you say with speaker, because that's critical. Because otherwise, you're not going to hear them. It's just going to be come with the earpiece versus the speakerphone. So it's very important to say with speaker.
Right. I don't understand with speaker.
So you're going to say HEY Siri, call 911 with speaker. Not just 911. You have to say 911 with speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, thank you, Sri. Thank you, Leah. All right. Who's got?
Could I ask Sri a question? Will that with speaker bit work for anybody? Like, could you say, call, mom with speaker and it'll do that?
Okay, hold on one second. We had Dana before you, so just hold tight. That's okay. That's all right. Go ahead, Dana.
Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment to the person that asked about 911 that you say with speaker, hey, SIRI, call 911 with speaker. That way you don't have to hold the phone to your ear. It'll just come out the bottom of your phone.
Okay, very good. And let's see, who was our other person that had a question?
Sharon.
Thanks. Sorry.
Okay.
So I
go ahead.
wanted to ask, will that work for any call? If you tell her to call, Joe, and you say with speaker, will then she put him on speaker?
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Yes, and if you also have if you have that feature enabled, you could also answer the phone by saying, "Hey, SIRI, answer the call," but you just have to kind of be loud because it has to hear that over the ringtone, but you can also do that too.
Sharon again, can I ask another question then?
Yes, go ahead, Sharon.
Does because I'm low vision, so sometimes I have voiceover on, sometimes I have voiceover off. Does voiceover have to be on for that to work?
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
So this is about having the Siri feature turned on with HEY Siri turned on.
Yeah.
So you can have voiceover and that turned on. You just have to be careful that when you are calling it out, you have to be aware that there is secondary noise there. So you might have to be a little bit louder than just if versus answering the call versus having it, calling emergency versus actually picking up an incoming call.
Got it.
This is Brad. I think she's asking, this is something that's a separate feature independent of voiceover, because she said she sometimes doesn't have voiceover on.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead, Sri.
Yeah, you're right. I was actually thinking about it after you kind of brought it up. I did think about it. Yes. So there are actually two different things. You have voiceover as the accessibility side, and then you have the wake word HEY SIRI, which you can enable it or turn it on or off in the Siri settings.
Right, it's Sharon. I always had that is enabled, but I didn't know she could do that. And what's the way you have to tell her to hang up the phone? Just say, "Hey, blah," hang up the phone, and she'll do it.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead, Sri.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a way. I figured out how to hang up the call that way. I just know how to answer the call. I haven't quite. If there is a command out there, I'm not aware of it, but someone else might know the answer to that. But as far as I know, I don't think you can hang it up, but I could be wrong.
This is Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Could you say end call? Well, you'd be saying it in your person might be on the phone still, so but you could try saying, "Hey," so end call.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
I think the reason why it's not going to work is I don't think Siri can activate when you're actually on a phone call.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay, thank you, Herbie. All right, let's see if we can get another question going.
This
Who's
is
got-
Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy.
So I was teaching a student the other day, and we were trying to delete a junk contact. And it used to be that you would swipe all the way to the right after notes and such. And there is not a delete on contacts in 15.2 that I could find. And I tried using the swipe down gesture, tried a couple different things, and I can't figure out how you delete a contact now. Anybody know in contact?
This is Kushal.
Yeah, go ahead, Crucial.
So did you go into the edit of the contact? Because
Yep,
okay.
Yep, I tried it both ways, and there's a what does it say?
You should be able to, if you go into the edit thing, there should be a delete contact option.
Yeah, it's
This is Judy.
I'm not finding it. Go for it, Judy. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Judy.
Well, after you hit the edit up at I find it at the top left. I don't know, but anyways, then you touch down at the bottom. At least that's where I touch, and where it says toolbar, then it'll say trash or delete, or you might just have to swipe once on the toolbar and delete or trash is right there.
Okay, thanks. I'll try that.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Since it was a junk contact, but just in general, was it one that came from a source like Facebook or anything like that?
This is Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
No, we called it junk so that she knew she could get rid of it, because we were
because I've had some issues in the past with that, with like deleting a Facebook contact, but okay.
No, I just haven't seen that. I haven't tried updating my contacts, obviously. So
This is Kushal again.
Go ahead, Kushal.
I just checked, and there is, if you go into the edit field, it is at the bottom after link contact. There is a delete contact option.
Huh.
Or if you've got a message from an unknown number in your messages, there is an option to report junk in the thing as well.
This is Nancy.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, go ahead, Nancy.
So it's in my contacts. It's not, it didn't come in as a message. We were trying to create the contact. So
Okay.
I could show her how to create and delete a contact.
Okay,
But
so it is definitely under there. So maybe check again. Or have you tried troubleshooting stuff like, turning off your phone and turning it back on and stuff?
Not at that moment I didn't. Sorry, this is Nancy again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have turned it off since then. But I'm gonna put myself on mute and play with it for a second and see what I can figure out.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Crucial, everybody there. Okay. Who's got a next question for us?
Elisa,
Go ahead.
what is the Walkie-Talkie app on an SE watch for?
Wow.
I recently got one for Christmas. And I'm like, what is this for?
The Walkie-Talkie feature on the watch.
This is
I don't know
Nancy.
if it's on the new phones or
Okay.
not.
Nancy, go ahead.
I think it's a little gimmick. I played with it with a friend of mine. It was a long distance thing, and I think it's, I don't know why. I have the Watch SE as well, and I've played with it a little bit, but I think it's not super convenient to use. A friend of mine and I were talking.
This is Herbie. Oh, sorry.
You done, Nancy?
I'll finish my sentence if that's okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
Finish your paragraph.
Anyway, I found it much easier to just talk on the phone than to use the walkie-talkie. So I'm not sure what it's there for.
Okay, now go ahead, Herbie.
So walkie-talkie is basically what it sounds like. It's a walkie-talkie feature. It's only available for the Apple Watch. And think of it as sending somebody a voice message, but they're getting it in real time instead of you them hearing it after you send it. So you literally connect with your friend, you push to talk, and then as you are talking, what you are saying, they're hearing what you are saying on their watch in literally real time. So it's useful if you want to talk to somebody out loud, but you don't want to be connected like on the actual phone. So that's the idea of the walkie-talkie feature.
That's it. Thank you, Herbie. Yeah, this is Brad. A couple of months ago, I did iBUG, the Buzz Bytes segment on that, and SANDHYA and I demonstrated how to use the walkie-talkie feature back and forth with each other on this call. It's a neat little utility, but it's got its limitations, but it's neat. Anyway, all right. Who's got another question for us?
This is Dan.
Yes, Dan.
Okay. Regarding the HomePod minis that Apple sells, is there a way to use those two speakers in a stereo mode? And I think there is. And how do you set that up?
Okay, that's a good question. Who's familiar with the HomePod Mini, and can you set it up in stereo, and how do you do it?
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
So I have it at my office, and I have to admit, I needed a sighted person to do it. There was one aspect of it where I had to pan my phone to the Apple TV, and then I had to pan it back, and I just could not do it. I need someone to kind of point my camera towards the right direction. And personally, there are some features in there that is not accessible. There's a button in there that's going to say single or pair, and it's a radio button, but when you swipe right to it, it bypasses it. Like Voiceover didn't recognize those two radio buttons, and I would not have known unless a sighted person told me, hey, you just skipped it. And I did bring that issue up with the accessibility, let them know that particular elements was not accessible through Voiceover. So it is definitely doable once it's set up. It's relatively straightforward afterwards, but I would, at least for me, I needed a sighted person to help me configure it.
This is Dan.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, Shri, you brought up Apple TV. Do you need an Apple TV in order to set up the speakers in stereo?
This is Shri.
Yeah, go ahead.
I connected through my Apple TV. You may not need it through the Apple TV. I'm pretty sure you could pair it otherwise too. I just don't know the other way whether that radio button is still going to come up as a non-accessible feature, because that's at least what I saw. And but I've not tried it just hooking it up as for my phone as two stereo mini pods. But my only concern is if there is that option where you're pairing up two of the mini pods, if the app has that same selection to determine between a single unit versus a pair, if that is still going to be accessible or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, who's got another question for us?
This is Jody.
Yeah, Jody, go ahead.
Does anybody, should I be cleaning out my lightning port? I have a dog and I'm wondering if like there's dog hair in there or something. I don't know. I just wonder if that's something that we should do like with a vacuum cleaner or not worry about it or just thinking about it.
Okay. Who's had experience cleaning out their lightning ports? Should we do it? Should we not worry about it? Anybody?
I guess nobody's worried about it.
I'm sorry.
This
Who
is
was
Terry.
that? Yeah, Terry, please.
Yeah. I had a dog for a number of years and never had any issues with that. But I think that it seems to me this discussion came up somewhere along the line at a guide dog conference. And I think the answer was you really shouldn't, because you have to be really careful if you're going to do it. You kind of have to know what you're doing. And personally, I would not do it, but I never had any issues with the lightning port. Are you asking the question because you're having some issues, or you're just wanting to know out of curiosity?
This is Jody. No, I was just thinking out of curiosity. I was just, I don't think I'd ever think of poking anything in there, but I was thinking of maybe a little suction, even just, drawing in breath from it or something might pull if there's something in there that might come out. But I wouldn't think of poking anything in there, especially metal.
This is Terry.
You go ahead, Terry.
I would say if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
All right, good advice.
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sri.
So I have seen some YouTube videos where they have suggested cleaning it. People have recommended like a Q-tip end of it to not really poke it, but just kind of like clean the if anything's kind of blocking the connection of the lightning port. But I would only suggest doing that if you notice some problems you're having with the lightning port making connection to the phone. If it's making good connection, then I would say you're good. But if you do see that you're not getting a good connection, then you might want to take a very soft, like I said, a Q-tip, and don't stab on it. Just kind of see if there's something that might block the connection.
This is Herbie.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
One thought I also had too about cleaning the lightning port. Well, first of all, I think it really, unless your dog's doing stuff like licking your phone or whatever, or licking your cord, you should be fine. You could always do things like, don't keep your power cord plugged in, keep it in a safe place where the dog can't get to it. So, and then you just have to take it out. But my overall thought was too, if you're going to clean the lightning port, I would imagine, I don't know if it would matter or not to make sure the phone is off, just because, you don't want to do anything with an active power connection with it active. So that's just my thought.
I'll just leave it alone. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't catch your name.
Chris.
Go ahead.
Chris.
Yes, Chris. Go ahead.
Hi, Jody. What we have done in the past, we've taken, if there's something physical in there, we've taken a toothpick, very, very gingerly going in there and cleaned it out with a toothpick. But we've also used a canister of compressed air to kind of blow things out of it.
It's Jody. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Let's see who's got our next one. Our next question. Who's up next?
This is Herbie.
Sir Herbie, go ahead.
So I've had a weird problem, and I'm just curious if anybody else uses that. If you even have the app, it's the iHeartRadio app. And sometimes it just likes to randomly come on, even though it's not even opened or anything like that. And it's only that specific app. And I'm just curious if anybody else has experienced anything like it.
This is Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Is it coming on Oops, I hear somebody. Should we? Is that your radio?
No, you're
doing
good.
that? Okay. I was wondering if by chance you were doing the magic tap, or is it just coming on just for no reason?
It's just coming on for no reason. Because yeah, that was what I thought too. But even if I did the magic tap, it wouldn't even come on because it wasn't even open today or anything like that. And then it just randomly started playing. I'd left the room and I come back and all of a sudden, iHeart's playing. I'm like, what? Why? I haven't even opened you. And I've heard of a similar issue. What's weird is I actually have heard of a similar issue, but it was a long time ago and it was on an Android device. And so I thought, but yeah, I'm just curious if anybody else has ever experienced anything like that. And the phone's even been shut off and turned back on recently too, so it hasn't even been opened in like several weeks, and then today just randomly started playing. So
This is
Spooky.
Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
Is it possible that you'll need to uninstall and reinstall the app?
I'm gonna try that next. It happens so infrequently, it's something I didn't even think about, but it's on my mind because it happened literally an hour ago. So yeah, I'm gonna go try that.
This is Tree.
Brad. I was going to say, hang on, Tree. This is Brad. I was going to say, go through the app. It's got some settings in there. I'd make sure it's not in your app switcher. I use the iHeartRadio app. I've been using it for years. Experiences. I know there's some settings. One of them that I have turned on is to resume playing the last station when I open the app, but I don't think that's what you're doing. But
So I haven't even opened
go
the
through your
app,
settings.
but I could double check that setting for sure. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Sri.
I was just more curious. Do you know if your phone was close to any of their devices that could have said something to maybe wake your phone to turn that on? Like if you had your HomePod or something next to it? Around it?
It's not right next to the HomePod. I don't have the HEYSIRY active. And I don't even think I touched it when I was last in here. But and like I said, the iHeart app, if anything, it should be playing like Audible if it was going to randomly turn on, or something, because that's what I no less had active. Usually it will play either that or like something from the music app. But I will definitely check that setting with a resume playback and make sure that's turned off.
All right, this is Sonia.
Yeah, Sonia, go ahead.
Just want to encourage, we've got lots of people on the call that, you may have a question, and this is your time. We're still, in the beginning part of the call. So any kind of, questions that you might have, everybody is welcome to ask questions and answer questions. So I'd really like for everybody to, get involved. And if you have a question, go ahead and say your name and pose it. So thank you.
This is Ned.
Yeah, go ahead, Ned.
Yes, I have the A-Lady app on my iPhone. And when I open the app, it says tap to enter A-Lady. And I tap and nothing happens. It doesn't open up. I don't get into it. As I scroll down, I can see the last couple of radio stations I may have played. At the bottom is my home, devices, now playing, settings, but I don't get into A-Lady when I'm tapping it. I don't know if it's two-finger tap, single, I don't know.
This is Brad. Have you tried giving it a command? I have it, and I know what you're talking about. You open it, and there's a button right there, and I make sure focus, I think, is on it by default, and I do a one-finger double tap.
Okay.
And I don't have to say, A-Lady or whatever my trigger word is. I just speak to it.
No, I don't speak. I don't speak to it. I said A-Lady because I didn't want to say the word and wake anybody's devices up. So
right. You shouldn't have to say a wake word. You should just
yes, I just tried tapping it. Yeah, it said tap to enter. And I tapped it and nothing happened.
You got to do a one finger double tap.
Okay.
It's saying tap because it says that for non-voiceover people.
This
Okay.
is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
I think you have to turn on, you have to go to settings and turn that feature on before you can use it. You know, giving her access to the microphone and all that type of thing.
Okay, this is Ned. I'll check the settings then. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. Okay, good question, Ned. All right, who hadn't had a chance to ask a question? Let's get somebody new in here. Anybody who hasn't had a chance to ask a question? This is your time.
Dana.
Dana.
Yep. I recently updated to a new iPhone 13 mini, and it's way too sensitive for me for my touch. And I've been through all of the settings to find sensitivity. Where is that found? I cannot find it.
Who knows how to adjust the sensitivity? You're talking about on the screen, Dana, right?
Correct.
Who knows how to adjust the sensitivity of the screen? I'm not sure I do.
This is Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
I don't have any specifics on that, but I remember if you go into accessibility and there's a section there that says physical motor settings or something like that, it might be in there.
This Dana.
Yes, Dana.
Yeah, I've tried that, and it didn't work for me. So I'm not sure what to do.
I've never heard of that. Well, sorry, we're not able to come up with something for you. Dana.
That's all right. Stumped everyone. Well, thank you.
How about this? Have you tried shutting off and restarting your phone?
I've done that, yeah, and it
Yeah,
doesn't work
have.
either.
I know you have. All right. Who hadn't had a chance to ask a question? Thank you, Dana.
This is Sabrina. I had a quick question.
Yes, Sabrina.
When y'all have y'all's voiceover on, when y'all are in public, y'all usually have headphones on so other people can't hear what you're doing on your phone and they won't get annoyed? Or how does that work when you're in public?
This is Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
I most definitely do. Because it not only is not going to be annoying other people, but it also protects my privacy as well, because I don't want other people hearing what my phone has to say. There are some times when I need to maybe do something on the phone and it's not convenient to have headphones in. But 99.9% of the time I really try to have my headphones in when I'm out in public. Because, I don't want my phone blasting out loud to the entire world, and it can make it really hard to hear too, especially if you're in a crowded environment or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sabrina. Okay. Who hadn't had a
Kathy?
chance? Yes, Kathy.
I wanted to comment to Dana that I changed something on my phone. It might have been slightly different. It might have been how much time the phone gives before it reacts to you. It was something where it's, small. was trying to look for it, but it's taken me longer. But don't give up on it. There is a thing that makes it less sensitive. And I was just thinking maybe it's because your screen is so darn clean now.
This is Dana.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy, Kathy. Okay. Who would like to
This
ask
is
the next-
Nancy.
Yes, Nancy.
I am having trouble with sending money through Apple Pay. Usually I can send it with messages. And for some reason, right now it's showing in my wallet that I've sent money to somebody, but there isn't a message showing. And it used to show when, when I would send the message. And so my wallet is showing the money is sent, but there's no message. And it did make the pling sound yesterday when I sent the money. Does anybody else having trouble with Apple Pay or with wallet?
Anybody got experience using Apple Pay? You talking Apple Pay or Apple Cash, Nancy?
Apple Cash, sorry,
Apple
yes.
Cash through the messages.
Mhm.
Got any Apple Cash users out there?
It used to work really
This
well.
is Herbie.
Okay, Herbie.
I mean, so like when you say there's no message, they're not getting the message that they got the money, or
That's what this Nancy, that's what it seems like is happening. So somehow there's a disconnect. It says, do you want to pay so-and-so, $50 or whatever? And I say yes, and I do the touch ID and it goes pling like it usually does, but then it's not somehow getting it's not
to the
sending
other person.
Yeah, it shows to me that it sent it
Right.
somewhere.
And have
It's
they
out
checked
in space.
and have they double checked their wallet to make sure that it's not showing up in there?
I just asked her to do that to see if somehow they've changed how it's working. But I'm not.
Because I've dealt with Apple Cash once recently. I had no problems. I just went to I did it within the Messages app. Just had it go into the apps and went to the Apple Pay and, paid somebody and they had no problems. So, I think they should check their wallet to see if it, and they should get a notification should get a message saying Nancy just paid you blah blah blah. I think that's what I got. I'd have to really dig through my messages now, but I think I did get a message when somebody paid me initially. So, do they have there's some people that like to have their do not disturb on all the time and stuff like that. Is that?
Yeah, this Nancy. That's a good suggestion. I can ask her about that.
Yep. And if they get Apple Cat, they will need to set it up for the first time. But yeah, they should.
I've paid her. I've paid her several times, so this usually works.
Well, she should check her wallet first to see if the money's actually in there or not, and that would at least answer one question: is she getting the money? Otherwise, then you may want to call Apple and ask them, "My money's in limbo that I just sent somebody. Where is it?"
Right. This is Nancy. Can I just say one more thing?
Yes, Nancy, please.
I just wanted to say thank you. I don't know what was happening the other day, but the edit edit in the context did show me the delete button this time. I couldn't get it to do it the other day, but it's working now. So
Okay, good deal.
Thank you.
Good to know.
Everybody.
All right.
All right, this is Sandhya. I have a follow-up for Dana. It's called, I don't know if you went here, and I'm not sure if this will address what you are talking about. There is something called, there's two things. There's haptic touch, and then there's touch accommodation. And then under touch accommodation, you can control some of the sensitivities, but it didn't quite seem right, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's kind of where I would start, but maybe you already tried that. So.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. All right. Who hadn't had a chance to ask a question? Let's get somebody new.
This is Claudia.
Hey, Claudia, go ahead.
I'm having a weird problem with my AirPod case. My AirPod case is not charging. It keeps saying it's 9% charged, but my AirPods charge okay. It's just the case.
You're saying the case says it's what, 9 or 90?
9.
9. Wow.
So it's not charging.
Just got experience with an uncooperative AirPod case.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri.
So, Claudia, one thing I would ask is, or you might want to try is, have you tried plugging that connector to a different outlet or tried a different cable? Did you try a different cable?
Yes.
Okay. And then one other thing I was thinking also is, do you know, have you tried, it's connecting to your AirPod perfectly fine, right? Like you have no problem connecting to
my
it?
AirPods is fine. It's just the case.
And you definitely tried it plugging in a different outlet, different cables?
Yeah.
This is Helene.
Go ahead, Helene.
I don't know if you press, there's a button, a little button on the back of the case. And if you press that button, does that change anything?
No.
And the other thing I would do is perhaps disconnect with your iPhone, like disconnect your earpads, and to make them, the whole thing not to be recognized, and then try reconnecting it.
I did that too, and it's still not.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
I did have a similar problem once, and I ended up having to go to the Apple store, and I think they just replaced the case. Because it could just be something defective with the case. I mean, definitely try the other things first, obviously. The reset button. See if that resets the battery at all. But otherwise, I like I said, in my case, I think they would just replace the case. And but I did have a similar problem a couple years ago with the AirPods, and that was a problem.
Thanks.
This is Shri.
Okay, Shri, go.
One of the questions, is this an AirPod or AirPod Pro?
The AirPods. I think
AirPods.
it's the AirPods second gen.
Second gen. And do you know how long you've had it?
I've had it for a few months.
If you had it for a few months, it's definitely under Apple warranty. Yeah. So if you can, because I know, like what Herbie said, I had to take mine in. They ran a diagnostic, and they do check to see the condition of the charger as well as your AirPods. So if it's definitely a couple months, when you get a chance, if the stores are open, to have them take a look at it, and they can run a diagnostic on it and let you know. And it's definitely under warranty if it's 2 months.
Okay.
This is Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, Claudia, I would, like people said, try switching out cables, charging cables, but also try switching out the brick that actually plugs into the socket. And if neither of those work, then call Apple and send it back in for warranty.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Who else hadn't had a chance? We have any new users who haven't had a chance?
This is Jody, if there's anybody new.
Yeah, go ahead, Jody.
I have a friend that is worried that his phone might have gotten hacked. And I know Apple has very high security. I don't know the backstory to it, but is there a way he can check his phone just to check how secure it is?
Who can answer? a question about security on your iPhone.
This is Terry.
Yeah, Terry.
I would call either Apple Accessibility, and they may or may not address that question now because they've changed some of the things that they will and won't talk about. But if either call Apple Accessibility or call the regular Apple folks and maybe do a screen share, probably Apple Accessibility. If you want to do a screen share, they might help you with that. And they might be able to take a look and see what's going on.
This is Herbie.
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Oh, go ahead.
Hang on.
I think for this, it sounds like you need something a little bit more intense than Apple Accessibility in terms of, because you're going to need somebody to really get into the actual phone itself. I mean, but I think if I was concerned that my phone was being hacked, what I would honestly do is I can just do an erase. I'd reset it as a new phone. I'd update like my iCloud password, make sure I change my passcode for the phone, that type of thing. And those are just some basic things you could do. I know it's a pain. You have to reset up everything. But if you really think you're being hacked, that might be the really, truly safest thing you could probably do.
This is Jody. Thank you. Yeah, I that's a good, even if he doesn't completely reset it, just changing his his Apple password and his passcode is a very good idea. Which reminds me, what is two?
This is Herbie.
Let her finish her question. Go ahead,
sorry.
Jody.
I was going to say, what is two-factor authentication? And Sheree, thank you. And Herbie, thank you.
So this is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So two-factor authentication is when somebody logs into your iCloud account, what it will do is on the rest of your devices, it will bring up a notification saying somebody's trying to log into your device, allow or deny. And if you hit allow, then there's a code that displays on the phone, and it sits there until you type it in on the other device. So you type it in. Each edit field only allows for one number, so you have to type it in the proper order. Hit OK, and then you are in. But some of the other thing I wanted to mention too is if the phone itself is being hacked, then I want to completely kill everything, because changing the passwords, if the phone itself is hacked into, may not be enough, because if the phone is, those passwords are like for iCloud, for instance, that's one thing if your cloud account is being hacked, but if it's the phone itself, then that's a totally different issue. And so that's why I would kind of go the extreme route if he really thinks the phone is being hacked.
This is Sheree.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sheree.
Yeah, I completely agree with Herbie. And one other thing I would also do, if that's the case, is don't restore from backup. Just start everything clean.
Yes, good advice.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys. All right, we've got a few more minutes left till the top of the hour. Or are we there?
We're there.
We're there?
Time
Oh, we are there.
flies.
Yes, okay.
Time flies, sir. Thank you, Brad. Okay, so we are at the midpoint of our call. And we would love for anybody that joined in later, would like to say hello, who you are, where you're from. Anybody? Didn't get to say hi the first time around.
This is Claudia in Houston.
Hey, Claudia, welcome.
Thanks.
Jake from Michigan.
Hey, Jake, welcome.
Thanks.
Arlene, North
Kathy from
Carolina.
Towson.
Hey, Arlene, Miss Arlene, welcome to you. Hey, Kathy,
Thank
welcome.
Kathleen and
Terry
Arlene.
from
Who's that? Oh, hey, Terry Ann, welcome.
Terry from Arlington Heights.
And I heard somebody else. Thought I heard somebody else. Okay. Anybody
Michael
else?
in Houston.
Good evening, sir. All right. Anybody else?
Chris in Texas.
Hey, Chris, welcome. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Okay. All right. Without further ado, we will now begin the process of our big reveal. We were going to find out what movie we'll be watching on Friday. And with those clues is the enigmatic, melismatic Mr. McCulloch. Try saying that 3 times fast. All right, Mr. McCulloch, are you there? Oh, great. It's going to be one of those days.
Practicing to be a hacker.
Oh, that was so bad. Okay, come on. Let's go.
Asthmatic.
Yeah.
Glad I
that
have my
too.
mask on.
I know. All right.
Did she call me an ass, man?
Melismatic. Look it up.
Oh, I thought you said
Afterwards, good.
If the truth fits, All right, go ahead. Come on.
All right. Welcome, everybody. No, I'm not welcoming anybody. You're welcoming me.
Yes. Oh, we didn't tell them what the movie is.
It is this Friday night at the virtual movies, 7:30 p.m. for the pre-social time, 8 for the movie, and something goes on after the movie.
Yep, something. Okay.
Discussion and frivolity. So be there on the same Zoom conference line. And now to find out what the feature will be this week, we will have our normal Michael movie.
What happened to the end there? See, that's what a melisma is. It is it's one note, a group of notes sung together. I'm not defining it correctly. It's like when you do like a little trill at the end. That's a melisma. All right. Anyway, now too much for you to handle. Keep going.
All right. So, same rules. Say your name, wait to be recognized, and then you may take a guess. We have 5 clues.
People are chuckling already. You haven't even
Only
said
5
anything
clues.
yet. Okay, go.
The first clue is totally irrelevant, so don't even pay attention. All right. Clue number 1. Our film this week provokes frustration and rage without resorting to monologues or melodrama.
Wow. How do you do that?
Provokes frustration and rage without resorting to monologues or melodrama.
I thought only you could do that. Okay, well, go on.
All right. Don't look like we have any takers
Kathy.
there. Oh,
Okay.
Kathy.
How about anger management?
Anger management. That is such a good guess and so wrong.
Oh,
sorry.
Good try.
Good try, Kathy. Okay, Shri.
Code of silence.
Code of silence of the lambs. No, sir. Thank you for playing. Come again. All right, we're moving on to clue 2. Clue number 2. Our film is set in Virginia. Guess who lives in Virginia? In the late 50s and 60s.
I wasn't there then.
The movie was there. Okay. All right. Say it again, Mr. McCulloch.
Our film is set in Virginia in the late 50s and 60s.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nikki,
Nikki,
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. That is an excellent guess, Nikki. How did you come up with that?
An excellent guess. Okay, go
All
on.
right.
No. Okay.
This is Shri.
Sorry, Nikki. Okay. Okay, Shri.
My guess is wrong. You said the 60s. My guess is totally. I was going to say how the West was won, but wrong
The
timeline.
West was
Wrong
what?
century.
This is Ned.
I didn't say which century. I just said the 50s and 60s.
Okay, let Ned go.
Virginia's
All
not
right,
the West.
go Ned. Go.
12 angry men.
12 angry men. Ooh, he's getting closer, but no cigar.
How is he getting closer?
You'll see. You'll see.
Okay, if you say so. Okay.
Anybody else before we move on? All right,
know.
moving on to
I don't know what
clue
movie he's
number
watching.
3.
Okay, only clue number 3. Okay, go ahead.
Clue number 3. The story is about a couple who is who are or who is?
Who are?
A couple who
am.
is quiet, conservative, almost shy folk. It's about a couple who are quiet, conservative, almost shy folk.
This is Kathy.
Kathy,
Guess who's coming to dinner?
guess who's coming to dinner? Oh, that is so close to.
Getting really close.
All right.
I guess,
all
kind of, sort of.
right. Oh, but that's
This is Shri.
not. That's not.
Stretch,
Okay, Shri.
Is it diner?
Diner. Yes, it is not. Okay, good try, Clay.
Go on, go on.
Shri.
Okay, keep going.
Clue number 4. The couple are ordered to leave the state, to leave their families, their land, and their home.
So sad. Okay, say it again. It's 4th clue. Oh, somebody have a guess?
The couple.
This is
go ahead.
Helene.
Helene, yes.
Loving.
Loving. That is an excellent guess also. And it is so ding, 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 ding. Yes, yes, yes. Way to go, Helene. Yeah.
I don't know what's more entertaining, the clues or his reaction. Good job,
Yes,
Helene.
Helene. Finally,
Wow.
somebody got it on before we got to the end.
Oh, thank God. Good job.
All right, Helene. Okay, Johnny, what do we have for our winner tonight?
Helene, you are now the owner of a beautiful farmhouse, a tiny little farmhouse in iBUG colors, of course. And you may say, where is this beautiful farmhouse? Did you say that, Helene? Did you say, where is my
Yes.
farmhouse? Yes, she
Yes.
said that. And it is in Richmond, Virginia, a short distance from Shri. So if you have questions, you can always just run up the street to Shri. I don't know how far Richmond is from where he is, but we'll figure it out.
100 miles.
Okay. So Helene, you have
and
a
it comes with a promise that you will never be ordered to leave the state, to leave the house or the land.
Okay.
This
There you
is
go,
Shri.
Shri. I mean, Helene, good job. And thank you, Mr. McCullough. Oh boy. Well, it'll be a good movie. So
That was
please.
funny.
Sorry?
I said that was funny.
Oh, yes. Thank you. All right. Okay. So we're moving on. Thank you, Helene. Good job. Okay. So now we are going to, our next segment will be the 5-minute iBUG Bytes segment. And then after that, we resume questioning by all of you guys. So be listening to Brad and then also be thinking of new questions. So hold tight. All right, Brad, what you got for us?
All right. Well, what we have here is a little demonstration, and we're going to build on a couple of other demonstrations. Last week, Maria talked about entering contacts, reoccurring contacts. And yesterday, we did an iBUG Cafe where we talked about the Zoom app. So tying those two together, we are going to look at calendar entries that include a Zoom link that will allow you to enter the Zoom room directly from the calendar entry. So I've got my trusty iPhone 12 Pro here. I have opened it up.
Monday,
Let's see.
January 10.
How about that? Do we hear it?
iTunes Store.
You loud and clear there, Sonia?
Pretty good. Yes, sir.
Monday, January
Okay,
10.
we're going to open up my calendar. And we are on
Jan,
today.
2022. Back button.
And we are going to see that.
ACB hosting.
Let me-
iBUG Buzz.
Here it
tab
is.
ACB
louder.
hosting.
Hold it.
House cleaning.
Hold
From
it.
8.
Where the hell
iBUG
is it?
Buzz. From 19.
Here it is.
to 21.
iBUG Buzz. Okay.
Now.
So we're going to open up. I have this calendar entry that is set for today. And it is actually a reoccurring event. I have it set to show up every Monday. And
iBUG Buzz.
I'm
From
not
19
gonna,
to 21.
what I have in here is,
Actions available. 1700 hours. 1800. iBUG Buzz.
I
From
have,
19.
well, you can't, it's not reading it. But when I created it, let's go to edit and then you can hear it. So I'm in edit just for the sake of hearing it.
iBUG Buzz. HTTP. iBUG Buzz.
And
Text
in
field.
location,
https://
I have
slash
put
Zoom.
the Zoom URL. So I'm going to get out of done. I didn't do anything. Somebody hit cancel.
Double tap to dismiss.
So I'm back in here. I have opened up the calendar entry.
iBUG Buzz.
I put
From
my
19 to 21.
I put my focus on the event and I make sure
Actions.
my
Activate.
rotor is on
Delete
actions.
iBUG Buzz. Join.
I go to action.
Share. Activate. Join.
You see that one of the options in the actions menu is join. So all I have to do is double tap on it. And I have just now joined the meeting. Hang on. Okay, I am now in the meeting. I'm going to get out of here because I don't need to be in here twice. And that's all there is to it. By putting the meeting URL in the location when I create a meeting, I can then open that calendar entry and select join from the actions rotor. Double tap, and I'm right in the meeting. That's it.
Great job, Brad. Thank you. And that definitely ties a lot of things together and makes it very convenient. So anybody have any questions for Brad?
This is Dan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, this is kind of backtracking, but if you want to have a repeat iBUG notice, it happens every Monday night. If you just hit repeat, is that going to automatically put the entry in every Monday after that?
Yes, well, Maria talked last week about how to create a reoccurring calendar entry. So if you do as Maria demonstrated last week, and yes, create a calendar entry, and you can set it up for whatever your reoccurrence is. In the case of the iBUG Buzz, that would be every Monday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time, or it should adjust to your local time zone, wherever you are. And then you tell it that's a reoccurring event. That URL will be in there every occurrence of that calendar entry.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Great question. Anybody else? Question for Brad. Okay.
It's Linda.
Linda, go ahead.
Do you have to literally copy the link and put it in the locations place?
Yes. Well, what I do, there's a number of ways you can copy a link. Let's say you get it on the iBUG website, or you may get in one of the emails that you get from time to time from iBUG, because iBUG uses the same Zoom link for everything, nice and simple. So if you copy that, let's say, for example, the easiest way is if you are on your iPhone and you have that link and you have VoiceOver focus on it. As soon as VoiceOver starts to read it, you can do with 3 fingers, tap 4 times, and that will copy the last spoken phrase by VoiceOver, which in this case is that entire link. We'll copy it to the clipboard, and then you can go to your calendar, and when you get to the part where your focus is on the location of the meeting, use your rotor, go to edit, and then swipe up or down until you hear paste, and then double tap, and it should paste it in there. And you got it. You did not have to type that entire long thing in there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, that would be a pain. All right, great question. Linda, anybody else for Brad? Pretty handy dandy there. All right. Well, good job. Thank you, Brad. Very useful. Okay, so now moving along. Who has a new question? Somebody new, and put your thinking hats on if you want to help answer some of these questions. We'd love to hear from you. Who's got a question? You didn't get a chance. Okay.
This is Chris.
Chris, go ahead.
Does anybody have or is currently using an accessible app for washer and dryers that are attached to an actual washer and dryer?
All right.
I need to replace mine.
Okay, so you want to see if there's an accessible app or a control that would control a washing machine and dryer.
Right. Because right now I have mine are probably 10 years old, and they have dials on them, and they're by tones, so I can use them by the tones. The higher the tone, it depends upon the water level and temperature. But those are 10 years old, and they don't make them anymore. So everything pretty much is going Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So does anybody have a current pair of washer and dryers that are using? I guess I'm just stuck with the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, because everything is now touch screen instead. So
feel your pain. Anybody out there with a Wi-Fi? I mean, an app that they can control their washing machine with? Or maybe they just don't wash their clothes. I don't know. Send it to the dry cleaner. Kathy.
Yeah, we just bought a dryer that actually had buttons. I mean, that's not your question, but it was not an expensive one. And it has the same kind of controls our other one did, with knob that you can feel the pointer, and then buttons that you can press for it to start.
Okay, or we can possibly come and steal Kathy's dryer, okay? So that only gets us halfway
Okay.
there, Chris.
I don't know
All
what
right.
happens when the washer goes.
This is
Yeah,
Herbie.
right. Okay, hold on. I thought I heard somebody before Herbie. There's somebody? Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
I think it was Dan.
Oh, who's that?
I think it was Dan.
Dan. Oh, okay. Dan, are you there?
Nope, it was not me.
Oh,
it wasn't. Okay, I apologize.
All right. Okay, never
Sorry.
mind. We'll keep going. Herbie, go on.
I think Samsung apps are accessible, so you might want to look into that. I know that Jonathan Mosen, on one of his Mosen at Large podcasts last year, I know they talked about accessible washers and dryers. So you could go through, look through that podcast in the show notes, and look to see what he had to say on that as well. But I think Samsung is highly rated as having the most accessible app per se, but that's what I believe I've heard anyway. So
Okay, and I know Wes Farrell, one of our members, he did a demo actually a long maybe last couple year 2 years more ago with his washing machine. So I'll have to go back and maybe dig out that, or try to reach out and find out what's going on with that. Because I know it was on one of our Monday night calls that he did, he did a demo of how to do his laundry with his iPhone. So probably the
This is
technology.
Sri.
Yeah, Sri.
So we have a Samsung, and I don't have any apps, or at least the ones that I have doesn't support the app. But one thing it does is it remembers the last setup. So we just make sure that once it's used, it's always in that one particular setup, so I don't have to fiddle with the settings.
This is Chris.
Chris.
I have teenagers, Sheree.
This is Brad.
Brad.
My wife and I have a Samsung washer dryer, and it actually has a setting where you can create my favorite wash cycle. I can't remember exactly what it calls it, but so my wife set one up the way that I tend to always do my laundry. And then there is a button you push, and it's kind of a little touchscreen kind of thing, but my wife put a little bump. It's in the upper right corner of the screen. And I could find the upper right corner pretty easily, but she put a little bump next to it outside of the screen. So no matter what it's been done before, I can hit that that area of the the upper right corner, and boom, there's my pre-programmed wash cycle that I've got, and it's always set to cold, I think, and it's set to the cycle and an extra rinse that I always like. And then if I want to change the water temperature, she's put another bump by the button that changes water temperature, and I know it's always going to start out on cold. So once it goes to warm, twice it goes to hot. And I think that's all I ever do, because I'm pretty simple with it when I do my clothes. And then I just have to hit the start button. So that's an option.
All right. Anybody else have any suggestions for Chris? And in the event you can't find an app, you might be able to use maybe some other of our OCR kind of apps, maybe Seeing AI or something to help you with this touch screen, or Seeing AI. Maybe slips me. Your I want to say For Your Eyes Only. That's not it. Be My Eyes. That's my best.
This is Sri.
Okay,
Yes,
Sheena.
Sri. Go ahead,
So,
Sri.
what Brad was commenting, made me kind of think about our Samsung. One thing that I have is I bought these special type of bump dots. They're actually like designed, like they have kind of like a start type of a button, like what typically every device looks like when it has a start button. So there's a company called Tangible Research that makes these unique bump dots so that all of my appliances, the start button has the same feel and touch of the same button, so that when I'm going through all these different appliances, I can feel it right away that it tells me, okay, this is a start button, this is a stop button. They're all very unique. And I use the same for start and stop on all the appliances throughout the house. So it made my finding these things a lot easier.
All right. Okay. Well, very good. Unless anybody has any comments, I think we're going to move on. So good luck with the washing machine and dryer. Keep us posted. Maybe you can do a demo of how to do your laundry with your app once you get it.
Thanks.
Okay. It will be squeaky clean. Okay. Next. Who's next? Somebody new with a question? Thanks, Chris.
Linda. Sheree, could you post that name of that company on the website for everybody?
This is Sri. Tomorrow I'll post it on our Facebook page.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sri. Good job, Linda. All right. Anybody else? New question?
This is Billy.
Billy.
Hi. I have a question. I have an issue with my iPhone. I have a 10R, and ever since the 15 iOS 15 came out, every time I'm on the phone during a conversation, I want it to go to speaker, and the volume is all the way down, and I can barely hear it. I have to use the side button, the up arrow button on the side to raise the speaker volume up, and I didn't have to do that before. If anybody knows how to fix that, that'd be good. Over.
Thank you, Billy. Anybody who hasn't had a turn wants to answer the question or help Billy how to control the volume of the speaker volume when his phone is on speaker? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Anybody had that problem?
This is Jake.
Jake, go ahead.
I noticed that sometimes,
Wait, you broke up a little. Can you start over?
yeah, I noticed that too sometimes when you use speaker, the volume will be down. You just have to turn it up with the side button. I don't know why it wouldn't remember your last volume setting. It could be something new on the new version of iOS.
Okay, so you're having that issue too. So Billy is not
I
alone.
don't know if it's an issue or is it just a quirk or I don't know.
Okay, somebody else was saying something, Tree? I don't know. I
This
hear
is
you.
Shri.
This is Ned.
Yeah. Okay, Shri and then Ned.
I was going to say, I've experienced this and I'm not sure what is the culprit because I can't easily replicate it. But I've had experiences where the volume is way down and I have to manually, hit the volume up to get it back up. But why it's happening, I don't know right now.
All right, Ned.
Yes, I have the same issue with my phone as well. And it started probably maybe when the 15 update occurred. But when
Yeah.
I answer the phone, I'm listening with my ear. And when I pull it away to automatically go on speakerphone, the volume's really low.
Okay, so Billy, we'll just have to hold tight.
This
Or-
is Shri.
This
Yes.
is Herbie. Oh,
One thing I just thought about, there is a known issue where when we're on a call where we lose voiceover for some period of time. Not obviously it's voiceover versus volume, but I'm wondering if there's some type of a software glitch that is occurring that is causing these problems.
All right. Okay. Quickly, Herbie, is it on this point?
yeah.
go.
Something I don't know if it would be related to this or not. For those of you experiencing this issue, in your sounds and settings, do you have the option to change with the ringer volume buttons with the volume on or off? I wonder if there's some kind of relation between the ringer volume and the speaker volume. I don't know, it's just a thought, but having it turned off, I don't know if that would make a difference or not, but it's something to try.
I think this is something I think you'd want it on. Otherwise, if it goes down, they're not going to be able to raise the volume.
No,
with the
because
side button.
what it does is if you have it on, it uses the volume level to adjust the ringer. So let's say if your ringer is really loud, then it if you press the volume button, then it can go quieter.
Right.
And
This is
so
Shri.
it's better to have it off so that way your ringer volume doesn't always get messed with. So I wonder if they've interconnected it somehow. But anyway, go ahead, Shri.
Okay, Shri, and then we're moving on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is randomly occurring. If that was the case, it should happen all the time.
Right.
So
Okay.
I really think this is a software glitch because
Okay, I thought it was occurring all the
Okay.
time. Sorry. So yeah.
All right, moving on. Thank you, Billy. Good luck. Okay, next question. Somebody new
Thank you.
hadn't had a turn, or Billy, do you have any more questions? Anybody else wants a turn? Really want to get people to ask new questions. Anybody?
This is Steven.
Steven.
So I'm having a really interesting issue with text messages from people in my contacts lately, and it seems to have started this recently with this latest update. When I text someone that's in my contacts and they respond, sometimes, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's been happening more lately. When they respond, it puts it in the unknown senders category and it just shows their phone number. It doesn't show their name. When I reset the phone or something, it goes back to naming the person that texted me since they are in my contacts. But it seems like it's happened to me several times where when they respond, it just comes back with the number. And then I notice that it's in the unknown senders category. So Just curious if anybody else is having that issue.
Okay. Anybody having this weird issue with people responding to text message? So the question is, somebody is responding to Steven's text message, but it doesn't come back with the contact name and it goes under unknown sender. So pretty weird. Anybody have any thoughts?
It's Chris.
Chris.
I had this sort of problem about a year or so ago, Stephen, a year and a half maybe. I don't know if it was iOS 14 or 13, I can't remember, but I would add some people to my contacts and then we would text back and forth and it would still, I don't know about the category thing, unknown category, but it would come back with just their number. And I'm like, why is it doing this? And so I would go in and edit their contact and I would add like just another letter to the last name or something, or just kind of change something. And that seemed to kind of help.
That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't discovered it until just late. It seemed like this latest update, it was starting to do that. So I had never seen that before until now.
Yeah, this is Chris.
Yes. Go ahead.
So that seemed to help a little bit, and then it would kind of revert back, and I'd see the number again, and then I would try something else, maybe adding something or deleting something, a letter or something like that. But then, and eventually, it just seemed to sort of work itself out, and it started working normally. I don't know why.
Yeah, it does eventually come back after maybe a couple more texts, or sometimes like if I reset the phone, then it comes back. But yeah, I just was curious because it sure is strange. I mean, it's thrown me off a few times because I don't memorize numbers quite as much as I used to since they're on my phone. So I see this number pop up and go,
This is Herbie.
Okay, quickly, Herbie, go.
So a couple things. When you're adding them to contacts, you're adding it directly from like that message. You're not trying to like memorize the number and then add it to contacts manually.
Well, I've done both. I mean, most of my contacts I go to the phone app and then go to contacts and just, where it says add new contact or something.
What I would do is instead of doing it that way, I'd go, if it's from a text message that you get from them initially. This is from so they've texted you originally and then you add them to contacts afterwards, right? And then
in some cases I've done that, yes.
So in that case, what I would do first is I'd actually double tap on the number at the top, go to info, and then go to where it says create new contact. And that way it's going to add it the exact way the phone sees it.
Okay.
And so see if that makes a difference.
Okay.
All right.
And also one other point of clarification, you're using the same device to add the contacts. You're not using say an iPad to add the contacts and then looking at the messages on your phone.
No, that's correct. I only use one device.
Okay.
Texting.
Because I've had cloud sync issues with multiple devices, but okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. If that were the case, then yeah, I would check
All
that.
right.
No.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Herbie.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, good question. Who's next? Somebody new hasn't had a turn?
Ibrahim.
Who's that?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, go ahead. We can barely hear you. You're going to have to speak up more clearly.
Can you hear me better now?
Sort of. Okay, what's the question?
So I've been using the Audible app on my phone lately, and I'm noticing when I try to swipe through my titles, it sends me back up to the top of the page. Just like it lets me swipe through the first 3 titles, and then it goes straight back to the top of the page.
Okay, so let me just make sure we're understanding because it's really hard to hear what you're saying. So you're saying in the Audible app, when you're swiping through the titles, it takes you back to the top. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, that's better. Whatever you did is better. Okay, so it didn't used to do this. So okay.
Basically it lets me swipe for 2 minutes and then it jumps back to the top.
Okay, so it's kind of losing focus, basically.
I guess so, yeah.
All right. Anybody Audible users out there who wants to help Ibrahim out? Having this issue of losing focus while swiping titles. Anybody? Okay. Well, I don't hear
This is
anything. Yes, go ahead.
I have not actually swiped through my Audible categories lately, but I have heard of other people having this very issue. So.
Okay. All right.
This is Helene.
Helene, go ahead.
I am a big Audible user, and that is exactly what keeps happening to me, and I've called Audible. They and ever since they were bought out by Amazon, this is what they've changed. It's not very accessible, and if someone has the answer, I would like it as well.
Okay.
That would be nice because this started like last week and there was an update, and I did do that update, but unfortunately it's still doing it. So I don't know what they're doing wrong.
Well,
This is
Kushal. Go ahead.
Have you, obviously I don't use Audible, but have you tried contacting Amazon Accessibility?
Unfortunately, every time I call them, they like, whenever I tell them I'm using a iPhone and like Voiceover, they tell me like they can't help me because it's not an Amazon thing or something like that. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like with Amazon Accessibility, they don't really know what they're talking about, except when it comes to Kindle, maybe. To be honest.
I suppose so. Yeah. You know, the only. Sorry, I'll just make a comment. The best accessibility service I've had is through Apple Accessibility. If you ask Google, let me look that up. I mean, you're working in the accessibility team. Shouldn't you know the answer? Seriously?
Tell me about it. Amazon, I give them really bad, but Google's been really good. I don't know. Amazon, Apple, and Google are really good.
This is Herbie.
Okay, let's hang on. Let's go back to our topic here. Okay, so we basically resolved that it is a bug that's going on with Audible. Okay, so we've already kind of spent enough on this one. So
Herbie was trying to say something, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to explain. Maybe the problem is that because the Audible app, even though they were brought out by Amazon, you know, it's still part of the Audible Corporation, not through the Amazon app itself. But one thing you could try, I was trying it just now, but it was being very uncooperative. You might see if you could get your Audible book to play through the Alexa app. If you're trying to, so that
I
might
don't know.
be.
The last time I tried to do that, it wouldn't play. Maybe because it's not my account. That could be it, though.
That could be it. It has to be linked up to your account.
Yeah, I guess so. Or grandma accounts or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good suggestion there, Herbie. Okay. Good luck, Ibrahim. Okay. Who's next? Next question. Somebody new
Linda.
hasn't had a turn.
This is Kushal.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Linda was before Kushal.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Linda.
Okay. Okay, just hold on, everybody. Okay, Linda, go. Go ahead.
My daughter-in-law used to have an Android phone and she switched over and got an iPhone. Yay. And so now when I go to her messages, it says new photo and info attached. Is there any way I can get rid of that saying?
Oh.
Or is it just going to stay there forever?
Okay, so now Linda is encountering this, yes, where it says new photo and new contact info detected or something, right?
Yes.
Okay, anybody have any suggestions for Linda on how to get rid of that? It is annoying. Anybody that doesn't like to help answer that question?
This is Jake.
Jake.
You could try double tapping on it and then it won't be new anymore. It'll just become part of your contact.
All right.
Because it does it because it wants to do it for iMessage, you know, because it's an iPhone, so it converts it to iMessage.
Okay, so Jake is
That's a
saying,
suggestion.
yeah, Jake is saying go ahead and double tap on it and maybe that'll make it stop being new. Have you tried that?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Moving on. Okay. All right. Good luck, Linda. Good job convincing the daughter-in-law. I know you did that. So, okay, Kushal. Was that you?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
2 questions actually. First one: has anyone noticed the device is getting hot with iOS 15? And I'm probably going to call Apple Accessibility and try and do hardware diagnostics. And the second question is, in Zoom, lately when you go into the link, it tries to open it in Safari and then you have to click on Launch Meeting. Before it used to open up straight away. The Zoom app used to open straight away. Does anyone notice that?
All right, let's take his first question first.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody noticing a heated up device? Is it in any particular app when you're using it or just in general?
No, it's just iOS 15.2. I'm having battery drain for the past 3 days as well. Check my battery health is like 85%.
All right.
Battery health.
Anybody else want to have any thoughts for
This
Kushal?
is Brad.
Brad.
Yeah, I've experienced this. There's something running. Restart the phone. That usually fixes it.
Okay.
All right. Good. Now, second question. Zoom is not launching right away. It's going into Safari. Anybody have any solutions for that?
This is Brad.
Brad.
Just go with it. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it doesn't. I would just, I mean, I know, like you said, I've experienced it. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know that there's any way around it. Just say yes, launch.
Okay.
We'll do it.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Kushal. Thanks, Brad. Okay, next. Who's next? Somebody new? No new question? Keep it going. That's good. Anybody else?
This is Ned.
Ned, go ahead.
This is a new question. I have the Bard app, and when I'm reading a book or a magazine article, when I close Bard and I go back to that book or magazine, it maybe will go back to a previous chapter or go back to some previous articles. Has anybody experienced that?
Okay, so so it's not resuming, it's not keeping your place. Is that
It
what you're
doesn't
saying?
keep my place. The only way it keeps my place is if I close the app, then it'll hold it. But if that app happens to be open, because I just close it with my home button, it'll jump back previously.
Okay, hold on. So you're in the Bard app, and then what happens? You leave it?
Okay. Yes, I'm in the Bard app, and then I close it with my home button.
Close with your home button.
And then when I come back to that, and I want to resume my reading, it's jump back a chapter, or it's jump back several articles in the magazine.
Okay, but contrast but what's the other way you do it, and then it does work?
The other way is if I will do the app switcher, close the app, then it'll hold it.
Okay, so just going back to the home screen, you're not really closing it. It's still there.
It's still open. It's still running in the background. That's correct.
Okay. All right. Anybody have this weird issue with Bard? Very important app.
This is Jody.
Jody.
No, I don't have that problem at all. I was just listening to a book before the call. I wonder, is it just this one particular document that you're listening to, do you think, or is it every book that you're trying to read?
Well, I belong to the Vila Book Club now, and
you better be reading that book, Ned.
I am, and it's happened with several of the books, so I can say that.
Several of the books. Okay, I haven't had that problem at all. No.
Okay, maybe they're just Vila Book Club.
Turn the phone
books.
off and turn it back on again.
Yeah.
This is Ned.
Ned.
No, I have not turned it off and turned it back on.
All right, it's always a good simple solution, just like anybody else thoughts for Ned, Bard?
This is Herbie.
Go ahead.
So I was just looking through the settings here. I don't know if this would matter or not, but I saw something in the audio settings called automatic 5-second rewind. I don't remember seeing that there before, but I wonder if making sure that's turned off, I wonder if that would affect anything.
Okay.
This is Ned.
Yes.
This goes back more than 5 seconds. It'll go back into a previous chapter.
Okay.
And then when I resume my reading, I've read this. So then I got to keep skipping forward, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yes. Okay. I would also maybe one little quick fix until we figure out what's going on is just put a bookmark before you leave, which is kind of a pain, but that way at least you are sure to go back to where you want to be, where you want to start. There is a button that says like resume. Oh, I'm trying to think, like last read, or there's okay, we'll have to check it out again. I'm not sure about that. We'll have to. Okay, thanks for the question. Finish your book, no excuses. Okay. All right.
Yes,
Who's-
madam.
Yeah, I know. You're going to finish. Okay. Who's next? Somebody new? Anybody? Lots of questions. It's great. Or even if you have asked a question, you can ask another one at this point. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, I have a quick Facebook question. This is the after 9 o'clock question. Oh, it's not 9 o'clock yet. Sorry. Okay, so I was, get these notifications and it says, okay, well, so-and-so has a birthday, Herbie has a birthday, Stephen has a birthday. So, okay, why is it that sometimes it says right on Stephen's timeline, but then maybe for Herbie's, it doesn't. So have you noticed that, or am I just missing something? This is if you want to actually go and wish Stephen a happy birthday. Anybody?
This is Herbie.
Yep.
I've often thought it had something to do with their privacy settings.
Oh, okay. All right.
Paul.
But I have
Yes,
noticed
Paul?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't have, there is a setting in there that says, something about show birthday or, whatever. I turned it off and it no longer tells people when it's my birthday. So, which is what I prefer.
Well, hold on, but okay, yes, I understand that, but it's telling me that it's their birthday, but I can't write to them. So maybe they don't want me to write to them. Is that maybe what you're saying?
Oh, no, I misunderstood what you're, I
Yeah, no,
misunderstood
it's
the
okay
issue.
because I got a notification that it's Steven's birthday or whoever, but I can't write on their, it usually says
Oh,
right
well,
on their timeline. Yeah.
Oh, that is a setting whether you can write on somebody else's timeline. That's also a privacy thing, I think.
Okay.
This is
All
Steven.
right. Steven.
Well, first of all, thank you for wishing me a happy birthday a month in advance. I really appreciate it. I mean, that's really cool.
We're ahead of time schedule.
I'm saying. No,
We
there
show
are some
love.
people I've noticed, like it comes to that. It does say it's their birthday, but it's like they don't allow you to write on their time. I've noticed that with some of my Facebook friends. It's just what they have set up where you can't. So
okay.
It's just for certain people. It doesn't happen very often, it seems, but yeah, there are some people they just don't want you to write on it.
Right, because it's a little nerve-wracking because then you're like swiping through, like, am I writing on the right one? Am I writing on Joe's or Tim's or whose or what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a little
exactly.
confusing because you don't know where you are. But okay,
Mm,
thank y'all.
Paul?
Thank you, Paul. Yes, sir.
Just one more point on that. I think there's maybe this is just for posting pictures. I'm not quite sure, but there's something where you have to you can approve whether something gets posted to your timeline. Like you'll get a list of things that people have done, and you can approve them individually. But that's just a setting.
No, that's very important. Yes, people tag you, people put pictures. Yeah, very important to check that out. Thanks for pointing that out, Paul, and welcome to you. We're glad that you're here.
This is Nikki.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I found that I have found that also that I can't write on people's timelines. However, if I go to my notifications, and I can't explain how you have to do that, but if you go to your notifications, it will say so-and-so's birthday is today. Then you can go and write on their timeline. I've done that many times. So, but I didn't know that people could prevent people from writing on their timeline. So that's something good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm actually, to clarify, I am going from the notifications. It says it's Stephen's birthday, and then I can't write anything, but you could send a message. So then therefore that's another, different way to talk to them, I guess. All right. Thank you all.
This is Shree.
Okay, Shree.
Just out of curiosity, is it possible that you didn't see Stephen because his birthday's a month away?
Oh, well, it was just an example. It was a hypothetical, Shree. Hypothetical. All right. Somebody else was saying something?
Yeah, it's Sharon. I was just literally looking, and someone I know it's their birthday, and they're giving me all these ways of sending her a gift, but there's no option to write on the timeline. So
They do not deserve a gift. If you're not going to let them write on your timeline, don't give them
no,
a
if I
gift.
can't
Sharon.
write them, I'm not sending them a gift.
Yeah,
but I've never had that.
exactly.
Really weird.
You show them, Sharon. Don't give them a gift. Okay.
I mean, this is Herbie.
That's way good. Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
I mean, have you considered the possibility that maybe the people in question just don't like you? I mean,
well, maybe so, but then you shouldn't be putting your birthday out there. Okay.
guess not. And
All
happy
right,
early
thank
birthday,
you.
Stephen. We're finding out it's your birthday, so.
All right, moving on. Who's next? Sharon, anybody else have a question?
This is Terry.
Yes, Terry.
I have a mentee, and she is using a 10R iPhone. Yeah, it's got the X, so that would be 10R. Yes. So, how many cameras are on that phone? Are there two cameras on the back and one on the front, or how does that work with the 10R?
All
This
right,
is
great question. Kushal, go for it.
No, there is no two cameras on the back. That is only on, I believe, phones 10s Max. No, sorry, 11 Pro Max and above, or 11 Pro and above. Sorry.
This is Terry.
Okay.
She's saying that there's a square thing on the back and a round thing on the back. I'm assuming, and that could be my first mistake, because I just have the 9SE, so
This is Herbie.
Don't have any way. So she's saying that I'm guessing that the circle might be the camera, but I don't know what
Might be the lens, I think.
And if is there a front-facing camera as well?
Okay, Herbie. Or
Yes.
Kushal, did you want to finish? Are you done?
Yes, I think there should be a front-facing camera, but the back camera, as far as I know, there's only one back camera and a front-facing camera. I could be wrong. Go
Okay.
ahead, Herbie.
Okay.
So yeah, basically all phones do have both a front-facing and a back-facing. I take that back. I don't think anything below the 4 has a front-facing camera, but I don't think anybody on here has anything that old. But all phones will have a front-facing and a back-facing camera. The front-facing, I think it's like right by the notch where you would put the phone against your ear to talk. But the back-facing, how it is with later phones, is with the 10 series, it was a square. With the 12, because of the 3 cameras, it's a rectangle. So the square thing that she is seeing is the kind of like the holder, and then there's a round part that's going to be sticking out of the square spot, which is the actual camera lens. And so that's what she is seeing. And I do believe that the 10R only has the one camera. Though the other thing I will mention too, a big difference between the front and the back-facing cameras is the front is really good, like if you're wanting to take a picture of yourself, but the back-facing camera is always going to be the higher quality camera, no matter the phone model. So I thought I'd mention that as well. So.
Okay, Brad.
Yeah, I think if she's saying that she's feeling something on the camera bump on her 10R, there should be two things. There's the actual camera lens, and the other little thing she might be feeling is the flash. It's round and it's similar, but it to the camera lens, but it's a lot smaller. But that's the flash, or it can be turned on to be your flashlight. But that's what it is. So you would feel two little things there on that camera bump.
All right, Terry.
This is Greg.
Okay.
He's saying that the circle is to the right and the square, I think, is to the left.
All right, let's see what Greg's got for you, Terry. Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
It depends on what kind of case. If she has her phone in a case, like I've got an OtterBox case, and the camera is in. If you're looking at the screen, the rear-facing camera is on the top right corner, but then in the middle of the phone, The OtterBox there's like a circle up toward the top, but that's the Apple logo. And they want to make sure there's a hole there where you can see the Apple logo.
Very convenient, right? Okay. All right. So that's a good point, like what kind of case she's feeling, but okay. All right. Well, Tyrion, good luck. I think we've hopefully helped you out there. And good luck. Okay. Okay. Who's next? New question, new issue.
This is Shri.
Shri.
So I just wanted to see if anyone else has experienced this. When you ask Siri to call someone, I've noticed there's a difference between when you call someone whose contact information has their first and last name versus calling a company. And what I've noticed is if you call a company, Siri will just respond with the phone number. But if I called a person that had their first or last name in there, it'll mention the name and then the phone number. And I wanted to see if others were experiencing this.
Okay. Using Siri to call somebody and giving the phone number for a business, but not for the regular person. Is that right?
This is Shri.
The other way around.
Basically, if you call a business, the contact information only has the company name.
Okay.
It's only calling it'll say calling, 703-555-1212 work. But if I had the name in the first and last name, it'll say the name and say 703-555-1212 work.
Okay. Anybody having this issue? I guess not, Tree.
It might not be calling people.
Nobody's calling anybody. Okay. Yeah, you use your phone to call people. Who's that?
Sharon.
Sharon.
When I say I'm calling, call so-and-so, it tells me who it's calling. It doesn't give me the number, which is strange. It just calls the number. It just says the name, I mean.
Yeah, I think, yes, that's just what I've had happen. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, anybody else? Nobody else. Shri, you'll have to figure it out. Jody.
Yeah, I've had it occasionally say the number is, and it gives me the number, and then I just repeat the command again, and then it gets it right.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Real quick, weird question that has happened to my dad. So I really never want my dad to be answering the phone ever. I mean, while driving, right? He's 91, so shouldn't be answering the phone while driving, right? Especially when I'm in the car. Anyway, so he gets a call and I cannot tell you how many times that thing rang. I mean, it kept ringing. And I mean, normally the phone shuts off after 4 or 5 rings. And he's getting all antsy and wants to answer the phone, and we're fighting because I'm telling him don't answer the phone. But does anybody know why? I mean, all I can think is, could it have been if it's like a WhatsApp call? Do those have like a longer ringtone, time frame? That's all I can think of. Just anybody had that idea?
This is Stephen.
Shri and then Stephen.
The only thing that I can think of is, keep in mind when it's going to voicemail, that has to be connected to the voice service of the carrier.
Wait, you're breaking up. What? It has to be connected. Okay, what?
To the cell service voicemail service provider.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I don't know if it has to do with that it wasn't connecting to the voicemail of the server of the carrier, and that's why it was just ringing and ringing, because it didn't establish the connection.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Stephen.
Well, I've noticed sometimes, and usually this is accidental, and I never answer these, but sometimes I'll get a call, and it'll be the regular ringtone, but it looks like it's a FaceTime call. And when that happens, yeah, it does ring much longer when you're going through FaceTime or, something like that than it would if they were just calling you, directly.
Okay, because that cannot go to voicemail. Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
No, I was going to really mention though quick though that there is a driving mode you should be able to enable on his phone, so that way it shouldn't that should prevent it from ringing while he's driving, and if somebody texts him, he won't get it until he stops, but they'll get the notification, I'm driving right now, so
Right. I have asked him about that, but he doesn't want to do that. So I am not going to do that without his consent. Okay.
This is
All right.
Jody.
You're nice. Wow, I didn't. This is a.
I
Wait a minute.
respect my dad. Okay, Jody, final comment. Go.
Does he have it set on CarPlay so that it comes through the car speakers? It might be that the ringer rings longer if he's going through the car speakers.
Yeah, I don't think so. I never set that up, so I don't think so. Okay.
Michael, it's
All right.
Linda.
Thank you, Linda. Go.
I have noticed when my friend calls on WhatsApp, that it seems to ring and ring and ring. I go, wow, it sure is ringing a lot.
Okay.
More than normal.
Okay, good. So I'm not crazy.
Michael,
Yes, sir.
at 91, he shouldn't even be driving.
You're just jealous.
I want one of those cars.
Yes, he is driving with one hand while talking on the cell phone. It's like dealing with a teenager. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you.
This is Chris.
Right. Yes, Chris.
Can he just borrow your brother's car?
The Tesla. I know. We still have to. Okay, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, Brad. Thank you so much for helping me facilitate tonight. And we appreciate everybody participating. Lots of people asking questions. That's what we're here for. So real quick, tomorrow's Clubhouse, Thursday's the book club. 86,217 is the DB number. Start reading. I know Ned is diligently reading right now.
I thought that was maybe how many pages long it was or something.
It's 10 hours and 19 minutes. Then we have movie is Loving. It's going to be a really interesting movie about an interracial couple. It went to the Supreme Court. It is a really very, it's going to be it's a legal movie. It's a love story, and it is called Loving because that is their name. Believe it or not. So come and check that out.
How long is it?
What?
How long is it?
I don't know.
I'm worn out from the other night.
It's 2 hours and 2 hours and 3 minutes. 2 hours and 3 minutes. Okay.
A short movie. Okay,
This is a
good.
nice love story. Okay. No killing
good.
involved that I know of. Okay.
Oh, I hope not.
No killing. Okay. And then, so that's all for now. And check out our website, ibugtoday.org, to get all the information that's coming up, and visit us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter and follow us on Facebook. And we are so grateful for everybody. See y'all tomorrow or anytime this week. Talk to you soon. Have a good night.
What time is book club?
Good night.
5. What time is book club? 6:30 Thursday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Brooks. Okay. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.